better give me that money.
Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. I said, hey, baby, I got your money. Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money.
Welcome back to Bet It, Bank It, Blow It. I am Jamie G. Esquire the Fifth, and I once attended traffic court the same day as Marshawn Lynch's lawyer. True story. I'm back again with Magnum Mills to talk about how to make a couple of bucks wagering on Week 2 Thursday Night Football. Big matchup between my Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Mills, can I get a squish the fish?
I don't think so, man. The Dolphins aren't actually fish, so I'm not really, a fan of that one. On the other hand, Massacre the Mammals really probably doesn't play well in this day and age. And well, we got Steal the Teal, Tag the Tuas, Destroy the Dolphins, Demolish the Dolphins. I don't know, call it whatever you want. Go ahead and make a t-shirt. Just make sure you call this Bet It, Bank It, Blow It, presented by Caesar Gap Fantasy Football. Thank you for checking us out. You can find us wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube. Find us on social media at Caesar Gap FF. Same place on the net, CaesarGapFF.com. Try to keep it easy to remember. We know you're busy, so we appreciate it when you remember the flaps. Follow, like, and please subscribe. If you had fun, please hit the thumb. Means a lot to us. Don't cost you nothing. Hopefully we make you a couple of bucks.
Well, we've got picks and wagering strategy for the Week 2 Thursday Night Football matchup. Again, my Buffalo Bills traveling down to Miami to face the Dolphins. All odds, weather, injuries are accurate as of Monday, September 12th. And we're getting our odds from DraftKings Sportsbook. No, we're not sponsored, but we could be DraftKings. We could be. Mills, I'll let you go first here. What are your overall thoughts on the Bills and Dolphins headed into Week 2?
I think it's an interesting matchup. The Bills catch a little bit of a break here. It's a night game in Miami this time of year. The weather, the humidity can be a big thing. Very famously, the Dolphins visiting sideline gets absolutely pelted with sun during the afternoon game. So they catch a little bit of a break here. Interesting matchup. Both teams in the same divisional matchup. Both teams came from behind to win at home in Week 1. We have seen the Bills kind of throttle the Dolphins last year in the first matchup. I remember that. That was a big one, and then they got the big one against them in December. I am just really interested to see it. I don't know that I really have a complete feel for this game yet. I think it's going to be, I keep saying interesting because I'm not sure what's going to happen. And I think that is really the intrigue here and how you might be able to find an edge to make a couple of bucks here. It might be a couple of soft props, but the game line, I'm not sure as much. Jamie G, overall thoughts? I know you obviously big Bills fan. You think the Bills are going to win. There's, any overall thoughts on the matchup outside of you think the Bills are going to win and, any way it would apply to the wagering?
I think that the slow starts on both teams last week, kind of coming back from behind victories. The Bills obviously got in a position where they didn't need a last-second field goal, but they did need a stop at the end of the game. So the Bills historically with Josh Allen and Sean McDermott have been pretty good against the Dolphins, whether it's in Miami or in Buffalo. So I like that matchup, but this is a Bills team that looks a lot different since last year. So we really can't. We have to throw that away. I know they still have Josh Allen, but the defense looks a lot different. We kind of saw two different defenses from the Bills in Week 1, the first half and then the second half. So we'll see what happens here. Also, a little bit of a Jordan Poyer thing going on with him now at the Dolphins. We'll see how that kind of gets handled. But I think it's going to be an evenly matched game between two really good teams. They're both coming off a short week, so there's not really any advantage there. So it should be a really good matchup, Mills. But I think there's a way to kind of protect against some of the uncertainty, and I think we found a couple of those ways in some of the wagers we're going to lay out here. So,
real quick, you mentioned the Jordan Poyer revenge game narrative. We should mention the Mac Hollins homecoming game narrative. Went to the University of Miami.
Mills, before we get into our picks here, it is, in fact, transparency time. This is where we lay out how we did last week. We will always be communicative and transparent on our wagers. No hidden stuff here. Mills, how do we do with our picks from the Thursday and Friday games of Week 1?
Jamie G, you were up a little bit over 163 coins on the Thursday game. You went down a little bit under 217 coins on the Friday game. So overall, put you just a shade under negative 20 coins for those two games. I was a little bit under plus 156 coins on Thursday, down 195 coins on Friday. So down about 39 coins overall. But on our combined wagers, we were plus 750 on Thursday, only lost 100 on Friday, so plus 650 on our combined wager. So if you put all that together, we were up just a shade under 611 coins from the 2 games last week. So we'll take that.
Absolutely. As far as the breakdown for the game, the Dolphins are 2-point favorites. Favored by 2 here. Miami's minus 125 on the money line, while the Bills are plus 105, and the game total is 49 points. As far as injuries, the Dolphins have multiple players listed as questionable, all of whom I think we pretty much expect to play. The other side of the ball, my Buffalo Bills will be without all-pro cornerback Taron Johnson. Absolutely terrible. Mills, what's the weather looking like in Miami on Thursday night?
I have not really personally experienced it, but it's what they say is a typical September night in Miami. Temperatures in the low 80s, going to be a decent amount of humidity, probably also in the low 80s. Light winds between 5 and 10 miles an hour. You got about a 50% chance of a thunderstorm later in the day, right up until kickoff. So I don't think anything that's necessarily going to impact our wagers, but still going to be a little bit hot and humid, even though it's at night. Not a lot of wind, possibility of a wet field.
Well, let's get it going here with our favorite wagers for Thursday night football, baby. Mills, update us on where we stand on these.
On the season, Jamie G, you're down about 28 and a half coins. You're 1 for 2. I'm down 171 coins. I'm 1 for 4. So overall, we're down about 199 coins. We are 2 for 6. We can pretty much pick anything here that is not a prop. So any side, total, things like that. Just assume we're putting 100 coins on all of these wagers for calculating purposes. Jamie G, give us your favorite wager or two for the Thursday night football matchup.
Yeah, and no surprise here. And yes, you guys can call me a homer. That's fine. I got the Bills plus 3.5 here. Last Sunday, week 1, was the Bills' 42nd game in a row. It's a record in the history of the NFL by not losing a game by less than 6 points, or more than 6 points. I'm sorry. So they are, for the last 42 games, in some real close games. I expect this to continue, even if they lose this game. I don't know that it's by more than a field goal, so I bought the cushion here. Bills plus 3.5. It's minus 159, and I'm going to do it, Mills. I'm just going to do it. I have to. I got the Bills money line straight up. It's plus 105 odds. I'm going to just go ahead and throw a small wager on that and hope my Bills win.
Oh, nice. Little Malcolm in the middle over there could take down both of those and the Bills win. That might even get you a triplicate patch if you were in a bowling league. As far as my favorite wagers here, I'm going to stay away from the sides. I'm going to get in on the totals. Give me the under 49 points. That's the straight up total right now, minus 110. So 100 coins to the under 49. And I'm going to do an alternate first half total. I'm going to say Bills at Miami, first half points under 24. That's minus 120. So thinking a little bit of a low scoring affair, especially in the first half. Maybe it picks up a little bit after halftime, but don't think we're going to hit that 50 burger and get a little bit better juice on Mr. 49 here. So I like those two.
Let's move on to our favorite prop bets for Thursday night football. Mills, go ahead and hit us with our season to date standing so far for our prop bets.
Jamie G, on the season, you're up a little bit over 175 coins on these. You're 3 for 4. I'm up a little bit under 332 coins. I'm 3 for 4 as well. That means overall we're up a little bit over 507 coins, 6 for 8 overall. And opposite of what we just did, these all have to be props: player prop, team prop, game prop, whatever. Jamie G, I like what you did last time. Lead us off again here.
Absolutely, man. I got a couple here. I really like Keon Coleman over 3.5 receptions. It's minus 140. He was the most targeted receiver last week in week 1. He could have had a couple more, honestly. I expect them to continue to feature him. He's just one player on the Bills team that can do something that none of the other players can, and that's that big physical, athletic, go up and get it kind of player. I really like the over 3.5. I expect him to get 5 or 6 receptions in this game, so I think that's going to be a good win. Next, I'm going to go back to the well here with my guy, Josh Allen, over 1.5 passing touchdowns, plus 120. He's been really good. I mean, really, really good against Miami in his career. Him getting two passing touchdowns in this game that's not far-fetched at all for me. I love the plus 120 odds here. I'm taking the over on 1.5 pass touchdowns. Last but certainly not least, Mills, I have Tua Tagovailoa under. In a surprise under here, under 282 passing yards. It's minus 170. I don't see him getting 300 yards. I don't see him getting 280. I damn sure don't see him getting 282. I see him getting somewhere between 240 and 260. I like the under on the 282 minus 170 odds.
All right. I mean, that fits for, my prediction. The under probably works with your Bills sides. I am going to give a little bit of credit here in my first prop to Tyreek Hill. I'm going to say he is over 101.5 rushing plus receiving yards. If he gets a carry, it's probably going for 10 yards, I figure. That's pretty much how he rolls when they give him the ball that way. Jamie G, I have your guy, Josh Allen, over 44.5 rushing yards. That's plus 130. I think he might have to get a little bit dirty, do whatever it takes, win the game. He breaks off one long rush. I think that'll be a pretty easy one to hit the rest of the way. And then finally, I think having Taron Johnson out will definitely hurt you a little bit. I have Tua Tagovailoa, longest completion over 39.5 yards, minus 115. Doesn't have to be a touchdown, but I think he gets at least one pass play over 40 yards. They managed to take advantage of Johnson's absence at least once.
Let's start to think bigger here, beginning with our lottery ticket long shots. Mills, I don't think either of us hit one of these last week, and that's probably okay. As long as we hit one or two of them over the course of the season, I think that's a win, right?
That's basically what we're going for here. Yeah, correct. We were both 0 for last week. We're each 0 for 1 on the season. Lead the way again here, man. Sure, Bills, lead us off. Show us how to do it.
I'm going to give you two here, Mills. These are long shots, but I'm going to give you two. I've got Devin Achane here with 2 touchdowns anytime plus 750. I could see this happening. He's a pretty dynamic player. He's going to be tough to contain while also containing some of the weapons outside that Miami has. So I like this one here. Obviously, provided he plays. I know he's listed as questionable, but I do expect him to play. And then I'm going to go with the man. I'm going to go Josh Allen. 3. I'm going to go a little bit greedy here. 3+ passing touchdowns plus 550. It ain't like he never did it before. He'll do it again. I could see it happening here. Give me Josh Allen plus 3+ passing touchdowns plus 550 odds.
All right, I'm not going to be as aggressive as you. I just have one here, but maybe you can work with your last one. I have James Cook to be a 2+ anytime TD scorer, so he has to have at least 2 rushing and receiving touchdowns combined. That's plus 850. I like that. Josh Allen throws him 2. That works for me, man, to get you 2/3 of the way there. So if we could get a little combo meal going on that, I'd order that.
I would order that as well. And last but certainly not least, it's tripod time, baby. Once again, we've got a 3-legger single game parlay to fill the biggest hole in your life, your wallet. Last week, we hit on 1 of our 2 tripods and 5 of our 6 legs overall. I mean, come on, Josh Jacobs. You couldn't get 5 more receiving yards, just 5?
That was so close to a little bit of clean sweep there. As Jamie G said on the season, we are 1 for 2 plus 650 coins overall. We got a tripod here. We're going to start it off with each of our favorite plays in here. I have the Josh Allen over 44.5 rushing yards plus 130. We have Jamie G's Keon Coleman over 3.5 receptions. That's minus 140. And we're going to put it together with our guy, James Cook, over 86.5 combined rushing plus receiving yards. That's minus 115. You parlay those 3 together, single game parlay plus 600. So if you throw down $100, you win this joint, you're bringing home $700.
I really like that, Mills. I'm definitely getting some action on that. And I think that about does it. We want to thank you guys for checking out Bet It, Bank It, Blow It, presented by Seize the Gap Fantasy Football. Make sure that you throw the thumb. Let us know your favorite plays. What are you going to be wagering here on Thursday Night Football? We want to know. Let's compare notes. Let's figure this thing out together and win big together. All you got to do is drop a comment below, or better yet, head on over to our social medias and get in them DMs. Throw me a touchdown pass in the DMs. I'll catch it, respond right back, baby. Play a little catch. Mills will let you know where you can find it.
Maybe that's what Bryce Young is doing wrong. He's throwing thumbs instead of throwing touchdowns. Perhaps, that's the problem. Maybe we figured that out. Maybe we haven't. But if you haven't figured it out, you have been watching Bet It, Bank It, Blow It, presented by Seize the Gap Fantasy Football. Once again, thank you for checking us out. You can find us wherever you podcast and on YouTube, on social media at Seize the Gap FF. Same place on the internet, seizethegapff.com. Thank you for remembering it, just like you're going to remember the flaps. Follow, like, and please subscribe. FLAPS is crucial to our success. If you had fun, hit the thumb. I'm Magnum Mills. He's Jamie G. We'll be back for the main slate a little bit later in the week. Until then, we can help you bet it. We can help you bank it. But blowing it is entirely up to you.